After installing the hydraulic upgrade kit, I'm finding the Lectric XP 3.0 much more agile than it was stock. So what's going on? You can't get that added agility just from a new brake. There must be a change to the wheel itself. So I took some measurements, looked at the original wheel and this wheel, and this is what I found. I'm going to compare the height of the hub. It's already pretty clear to me that this hub is got a different width to it here to properly space the rotor, so with the hydraulic caliper on here it doesn't rub onto the spokes. Now we look at the new versus the old wheel. Why does it seem like the tire is thinner? Sure, this is not at full pressure yet, but the entire rim is very different. This old rim is much fatter, much wider here than this. You know what? I'm gonna inflate this new tire to 30 psi, the same as what I just removed, and see what it looks like. I wonder if it's lighter. It does feel lighter actually. Wow, so it's not just the hub spacing, but it looks like the wheel itself is not as wide. So we measure the original wheel that came with my XP 3.0. It's 2 7/8 inches wide. The new wheel that came with the quote-unquote upgrade kit is only 2 1/8. Wow, so it's 3/4 of an inch narrower for the new wheel, which is one of the reasons why it is lighter weight. The tire does say 20 inch by 3.0, so it seems to be the same tire, but when you mount the tire on a narrower wheel, it's likely going to look narrower. But let me inflate it first to 30 psi. It sounded like it has slime in it. So because the new wheel is much narrower, when you inflate the tires to the same psi, it looks like the new wheel causes a much narrower footprint. Yeah, we got like 2 3/4 inch here versus 3 1/4. The tire ends up being about 1/2 inch narrower footprint because of the difference in wheel size. So that's interesting. So that might make for lower rolling resistance, more efficiency, more agility, but less ability to float on top of sand. So I don't know, it could be a positive in some situations and a negative in others. But I think the lighter weight is an improvement overall. Definitely feels a little bit lighter. And I think that's just because of the narrower wheel. Try to measure the spacing between the disc and the spokes. So it's about 5/8 of an inch on the new wheel. 5/8 versus, it's more like 1/2 inch. Approximately 1/8 of an inch greater spacing with the new hub, which is very close to what I ended up getting with my washers. So that makes sense. That's why the new hub keeps the hydraulic brake from rubbing as well. Okay, well that's interesting. We end up with a different tire footprint, different wheel width, and a slightly lighter weight on the new setup. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it feels on the road. But yeah, look at this front wheel. Look at this front tire. It looks quite a bit skinnier. It almost looks like the Trike's tires compared to the original one. I couldn't resist the curiosity. Removed the new wheel that came with the brake upgrade kit so I can see what the difference in weight is. So this is the old wheel here. Let's take this fish scale and weigh it. So it's right at 7.2 pounds. Now let's check the new wheel. 6.45 pounds. So that's a significant difference between 7.2 and 6.4 pounds, especially because it's a rotating weight, rotating mass. So that'll help the suspension work better and make the bike more efficient, quicker to accelerate. But the biggest thing I'm liking is the difference in profile. This narrower profile and how this tire fits on the rim feels like how a tire should look on a rim on a bicycle. And the bike feels quite a bit more agile and maneuverable with the new tire. And I'm expecting with the smaller contact patch to hopefully also have a lower rolling resistance. But as you can see, this older wheel almost looks like it was a wheel they used when they had 4-inch wide tires, and they just kept the same wheel. So you end up having a wheel that's too big for the 3-inch tire. So I like that change that Lectric made with the brake upgrade kit. I think it's an improvement overall in the design of the front wheel and tire interface. Another plus of going with the brake upgrade kit. Now it's really unfortunate that Lectric kind of did a bait and switch, where some of us were able to get the hydraulic upgrade kit Later, when it became a full-blown recall, they changed their mind and just started providing upgraded mechanical brakes. And I understand it's a cost issue. The company doesn't want to go bankrupt, so they're trying to figure out a solution for the braking issue that doesn't make them lose too much money. As long as the upgraded mechanical brakes do a good job, they don't require crazy frequent adjustments, and they're keeping people safe, I guess it's good enough. But too bad we couldn't all get nice hydraulic brakes. If you find this type of content useful, please consider subscribing and hit that like button to be notified of future content.